This is a motion picture call sheet. They hand these out on every movie set, every TV show set, usually music videos, so forth and so on. It gives, basically what these are, they give these out to cast and crew and film crew and everyone working on the movie. It lets them know where they have to be, when they have to be there, what scenes are being filmed, what props are on set, when the hair and makeup is being done for the celebrities, an exact time scale of everything that's going to take place, usually for the next couple days. So it mainly focuses on the specific scene that day, but it also gives you an outline of the next few days of shooting. So every detail is on this. It describes what special effect they're using, this is like a small example. The props that were required, single flowers, blowing leaves, priest paraphernalia, and then vehicles.
Get a little bit into about how they change, like for example, a street will look totally different in the movie. They'll change the steps, they'll add things.
I was involved with Stuart Little 2, the motion picture. You're all familiar with it? They had some shots in front of, I believe, a library. And they literally recreated that whole entire block to make it look better. They put lampposts, flowers. The street did not look half as good as it did when they were done with that movie. Because when you go on an ordinary street, the lampposts aren't there, the flowers aren't there. It's not half as nice. Then when they come in with their movie set, they literally change everything. So that's something that a lot of people don't take into consideration too. Some of the other stuff that's mentioned on these call sheets that they hand out each day are like exact locations of apartments and sets and pretty much a basic outline of the script. Now, if you look on the back, here's a list of all the departments that are involved with film. You have the production department, script supervisor, camera, electrical, grip, set standbys, additional crew, visual effects, storyboards, assistants, craft service, medic, locations, special effects, specialty costumes, wardrobe, makeup, hair, sound, property, production office, accounting, editing, publicity, marketing, art, construction, scenic, set decorating, catering, and transportation. Those are all the departments on your average major blockbuster motion picture. Each and every department is very important, and they all play a very big role in the final outcome of the film being perfect. If each and every person working in those departments did not do their job absolutely perfect and follow every detail as they were directed to, then the film would not come out. If the transportation people don't show up or they're late, then the entire shot could be ruined. And that's another thing too, that some of the stunts they do are just insane. You know, like even for Spider-Man 3, just a couple of the shots, they had the extras, stunt people, and actors very close to this stuff crashing down.
Oh.
Now it's a big desk, metal, big, bits of computers and pieces of rubble, and crashing down right by the actors. They have to park like 10 blocks of equipment sometimes. Now this is a much higher scale production than pretty much anything. It's $300 million. They spent more money on this than almost any movie ever. So all these departments aren't going to be on every set. You're not going to have specialty costumes and this many special effects people working on a smaller movie. But this was Spider-Man 3. They had a rubble scene with the crane disaster I was describing. There's a crane comes crashing into the building and people are falling and Spider-Man has to save them from crashing to the ground and dying instantly. And Spider-Man swings into the camera angle and rescues Ron Howard's daughter, which is the actress playing the part, falling from this office building on 6th Avenue right by Times Square. So this is like down the block from Times Square. They filmed all these scenes. In some of the shots, they had dummies lowered in place of Spider-Man and his rescue victim. And they're going to match the shots and add CGI effects and just cut out the character dummies and add in the actual visuals of the actors, which they will shoot in a studio with blue screen background. They had paper floating, they had big fans, they had office equipment dropping, cabs being blown to bits, and hot dog carts blowing off the ground. So it's like, and that's just from one single shot of a film. They go through that elaborate detail. Okay.
Or we've been doing some a newspaper for school.
Okay.
Supposed to be teamwork with all the groups of graphic designers, journalists, photo, and also illustratörerna together. And when the teamwork doesn't work, the outcome is not so good. So hopefully that's a good experience.
It's very important. In almost every line of work that there's a team of people working together. If each and every person isn't perfect and doesn't do their job to the detail, it could really have a bad effect in the end.
Yeah.
You know, even stuff like, you know, the fire department, they have to even probably be, you know, more so together or people will die. You know, if they don't all run into the burning building together, you know, the person will burn to death. And if one person makes a mistake as they're going to rescue the people, you know, so you got to sort of look at making films as just as complicated and just as hard and important as something like fire officials or police officials or someone investigating crime. You know, they've got to have just as much teamwork. If someone's investigating a murder and a forensic specialist doesn't do his job right, they're not going to catch the guy. And he's going to walk free. So it's pretty much, if you think about it, it's teamwork is a very important thing in almost all jobs. This is another thing they hand out on sets each day. It's called sides. It's a daily script segment for the scenes they're filming that day. Sometimes they don't finish all the scenes that day. Sometimes they come back and shoot it again and again and again. Sometimes even 6 months later they'll come back. There was one more thing I'll try to address before I leave, because we don't have much time left. How censored and controlled the whole film market is. Filmmakers like Michael Moore, Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, Woody Allen, and many more are not allowed to make the movies that they actually want to make. That's something that barely anyone knows. We were working with Steven Spielberg on War of the Worlds, the alien invasion movie with Tom Cruise. And the original scene they had, there's 1,500 extras rushing down the hill. And they're rushing towards the ferry, and they're all being evacuated. Now, as they're rushing, you see several alien tripods come behind them, above, coming at them. So they're terrified. They're looking back. That was the whole scene that we worked on. And as they're rushing, they're supposed to get torched. The alien tripods come into angle and burn 1,500 people and turn them to ash instantly. After that, Tom Cruise is still running with Dakota Fanning and the other actor that plays his son. They rush onto the ferry. Ferry gets torched. It's smoking. It's on fire. Everyone's screaming and in terror. Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning jump off the boat, go in the water, and swim towards a nearby island. That was anything but the actual scene when the film came out. They cut everything. They decided it was too destructive, it was too dark, and they ultimately did not have the ferry burn. They also changed the name of the town. Originally it was called the town of Sutton. Steven Spielberg likes to make fictitious places up for his films.
Nå har vi besøk igjen. Skal vi ta en liten pause? Yeah. Can we take just
Absolutely.
a little break?
Definitely.
2 minute thing. Så nå har vi lært mye om, vi snakket litt om idéutvikling, og hvordan de tenker, og hvordan de er kreative, og så med å kjøre på med drømmer. Dette er litt med idéutvikling, en idéutviklingsøkt også samtidig. Og dette med å være helt totalt fremmed, ikke kjenne noen, og så prøve å lage en film og få tak i folk og så videre, for å gjennomføre en drøm. Altså det er jo kjempevanskelig, sant? Og ikke snakke i språket så veldig godt. Så det er kjempestore saker egentlig. Altså det tar veldig mye mot å tro på seg selv, og selvtillit for å så kunne gjennomføre de type tingene som de snakker om. Også ut ifra hva de snakket om, hva de har møtt av type motstand herfra og sånn. Folk ikke tror på de, ja, litt sånn negativ attitude og sånt. Så det er de kvalitetene som må til for å lykkes. Så jeg har all tro på at disse guttene her skal lykkes, fordi de har den driven i seg. Jeg håper at dere også får litt inspirasjon. Du finner en sånn drive i dere også, for at dere skal bli dyktige fotografer.